Welcome back or welcome in, my friends. It's your boy Ross here, coming to you live from the Mythology Studios YouTube, where I come every Tuesday and Thursday to post and host readings for the collective, trying out some different camera moves or camera angles. So, thank you for your patience as I figure out something that works for me and for y'all. And how this works, if you're new here, hello. What I invite us to do is think about a situation, whether it be a thought process that is ruminative or a feeling that maybe has given you all the information that it has to give, and now you would like for it to dissipate. I like to think of my readings of the tarot and oracles as less fortune telling and more storytelling. So if there is some insight you'd like to receive about this chapter of your story, then I invite you to tune into that, whether that be, like I was saying, the thoughts or the feelings, the emotions. And in a moment, I will invite us to take 3 deep breaths into that space, whether it be a heart. Yeah, going up here. Oh, what a delightful uh, idiosyncrasy. Idiosyncrasy? Referencing the head, even though I'm saying the heart. Hmm. And there were 2 things that were coming up before I tuned in that I just wanted to remind you of. If there is a friend that maybe you have been going to, relying on for support at this time, send them a message and say, hey, how are you? Offer that support in kind. And also the Superman theme has been going through my mind, just kind of popped in. So maybe head over to your favorite music player, find that, and then let it let it shuffle and be taking you to another musical message. But for now, what I invite us to do is feel into that sensation, whether it be in the heart or the head. Got my anatomy right there. And in a moment, we'll take 3 deep breaths into that space. And on the exhale, we can let out a sigh, a moan, a groan, a rattle, whatever feels most appropriate and accessible for you. And what I invite you to also imagine is that as you are exhaling and making that sound or no sound, that it is traveling out of you through the screen, across the waves of the magic of the internet and into these cards so that we are able to tune into that energy and get an accurate read on it. I do weird things with my mouth. And so, focusing on that sensation, that thought, that feeling, whatever is most up for you. Finding your feet flat on the floor if that's accessible for you, and closing your eyes if that feels safe. And breathing in and out. 2 more times, breathing in and out. And last time, breathing in and out. Opening your eyes if you want to. And let's see. What do you have to show for the folks tuning in? You are eager, so let's see what you've got. Cards are feeling caffeinated, as am I. Cheers. What else do we have? Mhm. Getting the energy that this is not necessarily a love reading, but okay, so let me just put these out here and see if the cards support that. So, yeah, this is a challenge. It's good. It's good. These are the challenges we want to have. These are the problems we want to have. There we go. So the idea here is that and there's two different ideas here that this could be. This could be where you are or where you've been and where you're going. And it's almost as if there's not any kind of I hesitate to say I hesitate to say not any kind of work to get there because you already believe you're going to get here. It's just allowing yourself to arrive there. So that's one of the interpretations that I'm sensing. Another interpretation is you and them, whoever they are. And I feel like this could still be relevant for there's you, who you are in this moment, in this mindset, and then there is the you that is out of that mindset or in a different mindset. So let's see what we've got here. Four of Pentacles reversed and the Devil reversed. So this is already sharing this idea of becoming more giving, with it in reverse. This is a person when it's upright. This is a person. There we go. This is a person who has used their material gains to insulate themselves. You see, they've grounded themselves in it. They've got it covering their heart and their head, but there's miserly energy to it. There's definitely not the idea of sharing here. And it's ironic that this is coming up because today's lesson in A Course in Miracles, lesson 187, is I bless the world because I bless myself. This idea that we cannot give peace to another, for example, because first we must have peace within us to give, or even in a more material way. I could not give you a cup of coffee if I did not have coffee to make for you, or cups to put it in, or anything like that. We must possess a thing in order to give it. And with this reverse, it feels like you are beginning to understand that and understand that. And where the spiritual and the material disagree is that in the material realm, the illusion is that by giving it away, by giving away the coffee, by giving away the peace, we misbelieve that we lose that. 11:11 on the clock as I'm saying this. But in the spiritual sense, giving it away, the peace, the coffee, whatever, amplifies, multiplies, and intensifies whatever it is that we are giving. And this feels like what it is that you're doing. And then the devil in reverse is this idea of, I don't think of this as the actual devil, the cloven hoof beast stalking about to tempt us. This is decadence. This is the worldly gains that maybe you have been adorning yourself with, but you're realizing not only that these chains around your neck can be taken off because they're quite loose, can be taken off at any time. You're looking at all of the things, all of the habits, the patterns, the things that you've been clinging to in the vain attempt that they will save you, and realizing that no, that salvation comes from within. That salvation comes from the choice to give peace to someone who has maybe been aggrieving me. And now let's see, what else do you want to show us with this? I want to see if this is speaking which Which story is this speaking to? Is this who we are versus who we're going to? Is this someone and someone else? Or is this something else completely different? Let's see. All right, we've got a couple here coming out. 1, 2, 3, 4. And yeah, that just feels like two for each kind of deal here. Let's see if this gives any more information. So these two are coming underneath the reversed Four of Pentacles. We've got Ace of Swords and Queen of Cups. My favorite queen, because whatever we want to say about her cup, it is unique. And yeah, it's this idea of coming with the Ace of Swords. You're cutting through all of the ideas about even what it meant to be, to have money, to have material gains. Oh, the sun's going to be tricky. Let me just tune back in here. You're cutting through with this ace of swords all of the misbeliefs of what materialism means, and stepping into a place where you're able to express yourself, express your emotions, express your creativity from this place of truth. And apropos, I'm reminded of this great trick that I learned from a master teacher named Nigel, where you take a deep breath and ask your heart, tune into your heart and ask your heart what their intention is. The intention of my heart is, and then you just speak and you let whatever words want to come out. And it might sound unsure or uncertain. You might stammer and kind of idea there, but you always tune back in and ask. The intention of my heart is to speak from the heart, to speak in a way that is clear and concise and precise and able to be received by whoever is listening. And that's what this is giving me right now. You're tuning in to your inner creative, and you're letting them call the shots. The world and the tower. My first inclination is to put this other pile onto someone else because you've had enough towers. You have had enough towers. But even if this is just kind of you and where you're going, it feels like you're coming to this new understanding that the tower moments, there's always going to be tower moments as the world turns, as you turn from who you've been to who you're becoming. The tower moments are necessary. There's always going to be this need for revision and recreation and rebuilding. And there's this sense that there is less resistance to that and more, I hesitate to say, invitation to that, because, some folks on the spiritual journey can become maniacs when it comes to inviting in the change, inviting in the tower moments. And you're always a choice with whatever comes up. And like I like to say, these aren't prescriptive, they are just a different way of looking at things. And depending on how attached you were to these chains, and before you changed your perspective, this tower, these tower moments might be quite triggering. And it might seem like the world is just full of tower moments. And it is, but like the world dancer here is showing us, we can dance through that. We can dance our grief. We can anoint the earth with the sound and the feeling of our dance steps. And I think that's great, whether that's someone else or you. Is there anything else that wants to come from this? Anything else that needs to be shared? Yeah, that feels complete there. So let's get some wisdom from our boy Hafiz here to bring us on home. What do you got for us, Hafiz? Is there a message that we've missed here? Is there something that wants to be shared? What do you got for us? Bring us on home. Hafiz, of course, is the 13th century Sufi mystic poet, contemporary of Rumi, from modern day Iran, when it was called Persia. Woohoo, yeah. Clear away old energies. What was that? 38? 38 turns into 11. Do it like that. Is that an easier way of doing that? Camera angles are tricky. Alright. Clear away old energies. The green leaves grew and swayed in the wind and turned so bright from knowledge, they returned to the holy again. All in the past is a sacred stepping stone, a shrine really to any who can see, and a broom is always near that could even sweep away a planet. It's time to clear away the old energies. Just like giving away clothes that no longer fit or clutter that no longer serves your home, so too we must clear away energies that have run their course. Forgive, especially yourself. The plates that you keep spinning over your head all the time, let them fall to the ground. Consider which ones are truly worthy of your attention and energy right now, and let all else be swept away. Which it feels like, regardless of whether this is you and who you're becoming or you and someone else in your energy, it does feel like you're both clearing away those old energies, what with the ideological changes from the reversed meanings versus the upright meanings of both the Four of Pentacles and the Devil, and the fact that the cards underneath are upright. Interesting that the cards underneath this guy are the so-called face cards, and that the cards underneath the Devil are major arcana. In fact, this is major arcana and minor arcana over here. So even this idea of stepping out of that minor arcana energy into the major arcana energy, stepping into more archetypical energies and letting those be who you are, clearing away the old energies. And if you are looking for, the little booklet here mentions clearing out clutter. If you're looking for support in doing that, one of my friends offers decluttering services, so I'll link her website down below. And speaking of other offerings, this Friday at the Mythology Studio in Lower Lawrenceville, I'm offering What Cancer Knows, a seasonal gathering that works with the Cancerian energies and offers a space to be held, as Cancer season has certainly been giving us a lot of need to be held. So I'll link that down below as well. And I'll also link to my website where you can book a reading where Instead of tapping into the energy of the collective, we look at the story that your soul came here to tell and see what it wants to expand into or what it wants to share with you and the world at this time. Hmm. Love the Queen of Cups. Let your visions come through, even if they are crazy. And understand that when you bring your visions into the world, some parts of the world may need to collapse. But you're so supported, whether it be by your community or just by your thoughts that you are thinking with your creator. And so that feels complete. So I just want to thank you for tuning in and let you know that I'll be back on Thursday with another reading for the collective. But until then, I love you. Stay safe.